Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. And today I have a very special bracelet design to share with you, and it's dedicated to my daughter. So I have a bracelet for each of my children, and the one that you're looking at here is for my son. And I did previously share this design in a video, but now I want to share the next design that I created for my daughter. Here's a very quick overview of this bracelet design so you can see the colors that I used to create it. And I did try to follow a little bit of a pattern with how I place the dangles. So at the ends of the bracelet, I have a dangle with one charm in the middle, but then as I get closer to the middle of the bracelet, I use two charms or sometimes even three before I have a dangle. So I did try to space them out a little bit. So we're just gonna start at this end of the bracelet here. I'm using a standard clasp bracelet. This is the most boring bracelet design that Pandora created, but I really like this design because I find this standard clasp to be very reliable. I haven't had any issues with it at all. So this design is very precious to me. A lot of these charms are very meaningful. So I wanted it to be on the bracelet that I knew would be the most reliable, and that's this one here. So I feel very secure with this design. And then at the very end here, right next to the clasp, is an open work. So the open works cover the threads. And this is a full bracelet design. There is a little bit of movement in between the charms, but I consider this to be full. And the first charm that I included on here is the Ferris wheel. The Ferris wheel has a lot of different colors of CZs, from lilac, pink, aqua blue, green. They did a really nice job on this design. And the best part is that they included those CZs on both sides. So it doesn't matter which way this charm flips, it looks beautiful. On this side here, you've got the beaded detail on the Ferris wheel. And then on the back, it says Pandora going around. And I think they did a really nice job. And there's the hallmark right in the center. So I included this one because with my daughter, that's the only ride I can go on without getting motion sick. I can't do the roller coasters, but I can do the Ferris wheel. So every time we go to the fair or we have the opportunity to be on rides, it's always the two of us on the Ferris wheel together. And then this charm here is an older charm that's two-tone because of that little touch of 14 karat gold on top. And it's the cupcake charm, and Pandora did re-release another version of this using pink enamel, but I do like the older two-tone, so I wanted to include this one. And of course, the meaning behind this is all the baking we do together and all the eating of the treats together. This first little dangle right here is really sweet. It's the balloon and teddy bear. And this enamel is interesting. People have a love-hate relationship with this color of enamel. So Pandora sometimes calls this the cream enamel or the silver enamel. It's got a little bit of a shimmer to it. So the code for this enamel is EN23, and they did quite a few charms using this color, and it does tend to kind of yellow a little bit with age or get a little bit more creamy. I really like this. What I like about it is that simple little heart right in the center, or off center right there. And then there's nothing on the back. And then for the dangle, you've got a teddy bear, and it looks like he's holding on to a little rabbit stuffy. They didn't put a lot of detail on this teddy bear. Like, he doesn't really have eyes. His face is a little bit blank, but he is holding on to this little balloon and he's dangling from it. This charm here is a birthday bloom, and it's one of the older ones, and it's using the pink opal. And I have a really pretty pink opals inside this one. It's a kind of an antique pink, if you want to call it that. And my daughter is an October baby, so that's to represent that. This charm here is the older bicycle. Pandora re-released this charm as well to add some CZs to it, and I think the wheels move, so this is the older version. I like this version. It's probably my favorite of the two. And this just represents teaching my daughter how to ride a bike, and I'll always remember that. That's a very special memory for me. This is the original teddy bear that Pandora did. Look at all that beautiful texture of the little furry lines going down his body. You can see his little feet. And I have always thought that on his feet, you can see a happy face. I don't know if Pandora intended to do that, but I've always thought that. And he's got a really pleasant little expression, and then some texture detail on the back of the charm. And this one here is just to represent my daughter's love of stuffies. She was a total stuffy kid, and she loved so many stuffies and slept with so many stuffies. So that's what this one represents. This is the Blooming Dahlia clip, and I chose this also because it's a beautiful clip, but the color tones of this matches really well with this enamel, this silver creamy enamel over here. But it also gives that little touch of pink, a little bit of antique pink. And Pandora released this clip. They also had a large number of flower clips at the time. Actually, let me just grab a catalog and I'll show you what I mean. So this is a catalog that I don't use that often in my videos. It's the Autumn 2017 catalog, and I'm just gonna flip to the clip section here, and I'll show you all the flowers that they had available. They kind of went through a stage. So I'm just gonna quickly run by all of the clips here so you can see what we had available back then. I like the rounded clips. I think they're so nice on a bracelet. And Pandora seems to be doing more of the barrel style now. But here are all the flowers that they had available. So here is my Blooming Dahlia clip. Then we had the daisy, the poetic blooms. That one's beautiful. The magnolia blooms. And then turning the page, we've got one more, oh, actually a few more. The dazzling daisy meadow, and that was kind of a white enamel. That EN12 is the enamel color. And then Petals of Love and the Cherry Blossom was still available. Shimmering Rose, absolutely stunning clip. And I believe that's it. So Pandora had a lot of beautiful clips back in 2017. I like their clip selection back then more than I do now, but yeah, there was a lot of nice ones to choose from. Coming back to this bracelet, this next dangle is kind of fun. It's called the Love Pasta dangle. You've got the bail with a simple little heart raised up right there. And then you can see there's 3 separate little dangles on that ring, so different shapes of pasta. Now the middle one, I'm gonna call it bow ties because that's what we call it in my house. And then a little fork. So my daughter's favorite meal is a pasta dish that I create with bow ties. So it is still her favorite. So that's why I have this charm on here. This one here is one of the Pandora Friends charms, and I believe it's called Pippo, or is it Pippa? No, Pippa's the cartoon, sorry, Pippo the Flying Pig. And I like the detail of the ears. One's folded down, one's raised up. And the pig has little wings at the back, and I don't know, there's something whimsical, fun, and fairy tale about this. So I knew I wanted to include this one on the bracelet because of that fairy tale-ness, but also because my daughter had 4 guinea pigs. We had 4 female guinea pigs living together. We still have one elderly lady left, and yeah, that's just to represent the guinea pigs in her life. This charm right here is a very interesting charm. I believe it's called the Glittering Heart, and Pandora called this soft pink, and it definitely has more of a creamy beige tone, and it matches so well with this Blooming Dahlia clip and also with this little balloon dangle here. And they're a little bit different, but all within that same color tone. And you know, your kids have your heart, so I decided to put a heart right in the center of the bracelet. This one here is called Doggy, and I find this charm absolutely hilarious. I don't know why, but to me, does it look like a doggy to you? But this is Pandora's original version of a dog, and it's a little abstract, but I really like it. There's something about this that's so vintage and playful. We do have a pet dog, and this next charm here is also representing our pet dog, and it says my best friend, and it also is in that same color of enamel. It's a double disc, and this is such a nice charm. If you have a dog, you want to represent it, I highly recommend this charm. It is retired now. So you've got the little pet ears at the back, and then it's smooth at the back here. Sorry, the pet ears at the top of the charm. It's smooth at the back with the exception of this playful little tail that looks like it's wagging. And I'm so grateful that Pandora did not put an inscription on the back because it would have took away from the tail. So our dog sleeps with my daughter every night, and they are definitely best friends. Here's another clip. And then this charm right here, this little bear was a Mother's Day bear from 2013. And this little bear is called Bear My Heart. And look how much gold Pandora put on that gold heart in the middle of the bear. They did such a nice design with this. They reused this teddy bear in a few different designs. I believe they came out with a Christmas one and a boy and a girl bear with different colors of ribbons. And there's the hallmark at the back. And my daughter has this bear on her bracelet, and I have a matching bear on her bracelet. So it's kind of the charm that we share together. This next charm here is the original charm that Pandora did do an update on, and it's called the Artist Pellet. And my daughter loves arts and crafts, so that's what this charm represents. This one's a little bit different than the version that they have now because it's a double dangle, so your paintbrush is separate from the pellet here. And didn't they do a nice job of putting different colors of CZs for the little blobs of paint? And then I also really like the bail on this one. Look at that beautiful little bow. Isn't that sweet? And then they included it also on the back, and no inscription, which I, again, really do like. Here is another charm that says daughter with the little pink CZ, and that's her birthstone color as well. And it repeats on both sides. And then here is another charm. This one I believe is just called the Mouse and Balloon. And this one's so creative because Pandora's got the little mice on top of the balloon, and it looks like they're grabbing on. Like, look at that little mouse body there with his tail coming down, and then here's the other one. And they're just kind of grabbing on for the ride, and then we have a bigger mouse at the bottom, and she's hanging onto that balloon string. And this one represents all of the hamsters that my daughter had as pets. She had quite a few hamsters, absolutely loved them, played with them a lot, and yeah, so that's all the little hamsters that we had in our family. And then this last charm here is the angel, and Pandora's done a few angels, and this is the old original version, which I really like. I like the little feet and the wing detail, and yeah, this is a very special charm. And then at the very end of this bracelet, just to keep everything a little extra secure, I've got a ribbed clip. So I'm not using a safety chain, and I do feel comfortable with that decision. Safety chains are very much a personal decision. And like I mentioned, I like this bracelet clasp, and I've got no issues ever with this bracelet clasp. It's opening up. So this is the bracelet design that I created for my daughter. Let me just put it on for you so you can see how it looks. So what I really enjoy about this bracelet design is how comfortable it is to wear it. It's not too loose, not too tight. It stays in place, but I can still fit some fingers in between the bracelet and my wrist. And I also really enjoy the color of this enamel. It's just really easy to match with different outfits, and it can dress up or down. But like I mentioned, it's just one of those designs that feels right, and it's very special with all of these charms that I have on here. So I have these two bracelet designs dedicated to each of my children. So my son's design is a little bit more colorful with the red and the green and the charms that I've used, a little bit more playful. And I think of my daughter's design as a little bit more sweet. It's not quite as playful. Well, it is, but not quite the same way as my son's design. Leave me a comment below. Let me know if you have a special bracelet created for somebody in your life. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. Take care. Bye-bye.